This person wants to replace you in the family, and they've already moved a major item without your knowledge. Archangel Michael says, keep your spirit sharp and your energy grounded, for what is happening behind your back is not by mistake. A hidden shift has taken place in your home, and the energy around you is not the same anymore. Someone close, someone you never expected, has made a silent move, shifting a major item tied to your presence, power, or identity in the family. This is not a story about misplacement or accident. This was a deliberate act designed to confuse, weaken, and eventually replace you. While your attention was elsewhere, they slid in with the perfect timing, masked with love, coated in false loyalty, and began to mimic your place. This is not just a physical shift, it is spiritual, ancestral, emotional. A sacred object, memory, or possession that held part of your identity in that family has already been relocated. And they didn't ask, didn't inform, because deep inside, they don't want you to find out until it's too late. What you built, endured, and preserved is being tampered with in silence. The whispers behind the curtains have gotten bolder. And if you don't awaken now, you may find your role, your place, and your presence rewritten by someone who sees your absence as an opportunity. Type Amen to get blessing 333. They are not only acting bold, they are moving with a strange confidence, like they've received approval from someone else. That someone else might be another family member who secretly envies the light you carry. Together, they have conspired to test how long they can manipulate this timeline before you're alerted. Your energy is not just being ignored, it's being redirected. They speak about you in the past tense already, as if you've been phased out. Yet your spirit burns brighter than they ever anticipated, and that inner alarm is starting to ring louder. Do not doubt the unease you've been feeling lately. That heaviness around your chest, that strange pull in your gut, it is the divine sounding an alarm within your soul. Something important to your legacy has shifted hands without your awareness. Archangel Michael says, it is time to spiritually stand up. You do not need confrontation to reclaim your space, but you must spiritually reclaim your presence. Energies like this thrive on silence, and your divine awareness is now the threat they fear most. Type Amen to get blessing 555. They've watched how much you've endured silently, and they mistook your grace for weakness. Your strength isn't in how loud you are, but in how deeply you're connected to truth. And now, that truth is knocking on your door, ready to be revealed with force. There's a change in the way people look at you when you enter the room. Some are nervous, others confused, and a few are afraid, not of you, but of the secrets you are about to uncover. Your ancestors are rising around you now to shake loose the lies cloaked in fake smiles. This person moved more than just an item. They attempted to transfer your energy, your memory, your sacred placement into their hands. They want to sit where you sat, receive what you once did, and be called what only you were meant to be called. They thought no one would notice. But heaven did. And the spiritual realm has been waiting for you to notice, to rise, and to spiritually reclaim what they dared to claim as theirs. Type Amen to get blessing 111. You may not have seen the object being moved, but your spirit felt the disruption. A picture, a ring, a chair, a book, something small in the physical but mighty in spiritual value. They knew its significance to you and took it like a thief in the night. Now, they smile around you, pretending nothing has shifted. But their eyes can't lie, the guilt, the ambition, the hunger to be seen as what you are burns in their glance. They're rehearsing your lines, adopting your mannerisms, copying your laughter. Someone is trying to replace you from within. Not through love or unity, but through calculated deception. They want the blessings attached to your name without paying the price you paid to carry it. But Spirit does not forget. And destiny cannot be stolen, only delayed, only tested, never taken. You were chosen, and what was planted in your name will blossom only in your energy. Type Amen to get blessing 717. Their game was meant to confuse you, subtle changes, whispered narratives, altered dynamics. At first, you questioned your own intuition. But now you see it clearly, like the fog has lifted, and the shadows have faces. Even some family members are silently aware. They've watched the switch happen but remained quiet, fearing what your reaction might be. They thought you wouldn't notice until it was all done. But the divine says, enough. No more silence. No more tolerance for manipulation masked as family care. What they took spiritually, you will reclaim without touching a single thing. You will rise without revenge. You will ascend without aggression. And your light will do what confrontation never could, it will expose every hidden agenda in time. Type Amen to get blessing 404. There is a room where this shift began. A space where you once felt peace but now feel uneasy. The atmosphere has changed because something sacred was displaced there. This is not a dream or paranoia. You are awakening to a plot that was never supposed to come to light. But your spirit is too powerful, too blessed, too protected to remain in the dark. You must now listen to the signs. That knock you ignored, the item you couldn't find, the memory that resurfaced, it all connects. These are not coincidences. They are divine warnings wrapped in gentle reminders. Archangel Michael says, stay calm but aware. Your angels are surrounding your territory, reclaiming every space where your energy was attempted to be removed. The power in your bloodline will not allow this false replacement to succeed. Type Amen to get blessing 909. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. This person is being driven by more than jealousy, it's spiritual greed. They feel entitled to your recognition, your connection, and your spiritual gifts. But what they fail to understand is, those gifts are encoded in your soul, not in the item they moved. They are rehearsing your story, but their version has no depth. Their performance will collapse because it lacks the trials, the tears, the sacrifices that made you who you are. What they carry is a shadow, what you carry is the flame. They cannot hold what was never meant for them. And what they've done has now set divine consequences in motion. The object they moved may seem insignificant, but it was the last thread tethering you in their illusion. Now, you are rising above it. You are no longer attached to the lies, the setups, or the fake bonds pretending to protect you. You are being shown the truth, and it will set every part of your legacy free. Type Amen to get blessing 222. They thought by moving that item, they could spiritually move you out. But you were never held in place by things. You were anchored by purpose, by divine covenant, by destiny etched into your soul long before you took your first breath. Now, what they shifted has created a ripple. And heaven is responding, not with wrath, but with restoration. The very air around you has changed, becoming electric with divine response and ancestral alignment. You are being recentered. You are being recalled. Everything they tried to move is now spiritually reversing back to you, not just in location, but in energy and meaning. Type Amen to get blessing 626. Their silence is screaming. The nervous laughter, the sudden absence, the overcompensating affection, it's all a cover-up. They fear the storm you carry because your presence threatens every lie they told in your absence. This isn't just about a possession. It's about power, influence, bloodline, and spiritual inheritance. They didn't just want something from you, they wanted to be you. But here's what they never understood: your essence can't be stolen. It's embedded in the universe's code, guarded by angels, and confirmed by heaven itself. What is yours, remains yours, even when others try to carry it. Type Amen to get blessing 999. You may start noticing things feeling out of place, rooms that feel colder, faces that feel different, glances that last too long. These are the aftershocks of what was done without your knowledge. The spirits around you have been stirred. The ancestors who walk with you are no longer silent. They are watching every step that individual makes, blocking their attempts, reversing their actions, and exposing their intentions. They will not let this go uncorrected. Someone who was supposed to stand beside you has tried to stand in front of you. They twisted your absence into an opportunity. But divine timing is perfect, and your awareness has arrived just in time to halt the deception. Now the reversal begins. Everything that shifted in secret is coming into light. And those who try to reposition your story will face the divine justice they never saw coming. Type Amen to get blessing 838. There's a photo you've seen recently, a memory that suddenly returned. That was a clue, an anchor from the divine to remind you of your original position. They tried to erase that part of you, but energy doesn't forget. This person wants the praise you used to receive. They want to hear your name spoken in gratitude, but as if it were theirs. They want your stories to be retold, just with their face in place of yours. But what they don't understand is, your trials created a light no imitation can hold. You were chosen not because of appearance or popularity, but because of your heart's truth and your soul's resilience. They have started building a throne on lies. But every throne not built on truth eventually collapses. And the collapse will not be silent. Type Amen to get blessing 565. There's a whisper among family now. Quiet talks, careful phrasing, nervous eyes. Some know something happened, but don't want to be the one to tell you. They're watching to see if you'll rise. If you'll notice. If your spirit will call back what was taken. And the answer is yes, it already has. Your spirit is speaking louder than any words could. The divine is now realigning the paths that were twisted, the objects that were moved, and the truths that were hidden. No manipulation can hold in place what heaven is now unlocking. You are returning to yourself, not just to a seat, but to a sacred assignment. And this time, you are coming back stronger, wiser, and fully awakened. Type Amen to get blessing 144. What they moved wasn't random. It was connected to your roots, perhaps a family heirloom, a symbolic gift, or a memory container. Something powerful. Something that holds your story in silence. And now, the energy inside that item is refusing to be in their possession. It is rejecting their vibration. It knows the difference between the carrier and the inheritor. They may smile in front of others. They may speak as if nothing happened. But inside, their fear is growing. Because they know, in their spirit, that your return is inevitable. They thought they could erase you from memory. But they didn't account for divine memory, which writes truth in eternity and replays it when deception goes too far. Type Amen to get blessing 123. Archangel Michael says, the war is already over, you just have to step back into your space. The angels are surrounding your name, your legacy, and your purpose with protective light. No imitation can pierce it now. This person may begin to distance themselves as their plan fails. They may begin to isolate, shift blame, or act confused. But it is not confusion, it's the unraveling of a spiritual trap they laid for you that's now snapping back. You were never forgotten. You were never pushed out. You were being preserved, kept hidden until the proper moment to rise again. And that moment, dear soul, is now. Type Amen to get blessing 212. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Even the ancestors are restless. They are surrounding your home, whispering truth, protecting your belongings, realigning the broken paths. You have too much bloodline light to be overthrown by shadows. Now you'll see what happens when heaven responds. Their fake calm will turn to fear. Their plans will fall apart, not by force, but by the simple power of truth re-entering the space. You are no longer required to stay silent. Your aura is doing the speaking. Your presence is doing the reclaiming. And soon, your full inheritance will begin returning piece by piece. Type Amen to get blessing 177. They may try again. But every time they do, the consequences will grow sharper. What once worked for them in darkness will now explode in exposure. Because you are now fully awakened. You see with divine eyes. And nothing will be hidden from you anymore, not words, not energy, not intentions. They will watch as you rise into the very space they tried to steal. And it will burn them, not because you fought back, but because you stood in your truth. Silent. Powerful. Unbothered. Type Amen to get blessing 707. You will begin to feel lighter soon. As if the emotional dust they kicked up is finally settling. As if your heartbeat has found its rhythm again. This is the peace that comes after exposure. The stillness that follows the storm. And the glory that heaven pours when the chosen one reclaims their sacred place. You are about to be seen again, but not as the wounded. You are being seen now as the one who survived betrayal and still stood tall. That kind of spirit shakes generations. They tried to erase your name. Instead, they made it echo louder in heaven. Type Amen to get blessing 919. Their spirit trembles now, not because you raised your voice, but because the divine truth is louder than any lie ever told. Every step they took in secret is now illuminated. Their shadows have nowhere left to hide. They wanted to possess your favor, your relationships, your sacred acknowledgement. But favor isn't transferable through theft. It's earned through battles, faith, pain, and perseverance, none of which they walked through. You will soon witness their mask cracking. What was hidden will spill out in front of others. The family members who silently watched will begin to whisper differently now. Type Amen to get blessing 434. There is a moment coming, very soon, when something they've done will be publicly questioned. They will try to act innocent, but their hands will tremble. And in that moment, you will know, divine timing is never late. The energy has already shifted. You can feel it in the room, in conversations, even in the way people now approach you. Spiritually, your aura has grown too strong to be imitated anymore. They sense it. They see the shift in your presence. And now, they are the ones uneasy, because everything they moved is calling your name again. Your energy is commanding it back. You never needed to ask for it. It was always yours. Type Amen to get blessing 383. There's a location, perhaps a drawer, a shelf, or a corner of the house, where they placed what they took. That area now feels off. You've likely walked past it, feeling strange without understanding why. That's because energy never lies. That space remembers what used to belong to you. It's still spiritually tied to you, and they can't change that, no matter how they try. You may feel pulled toward it soon, don't resist. Something inside that space will confirm the truth in your spirit. This isn't a game of finding objects. This is about reclaiming power. And what's meant for you is already turning its face back toward you. Type Amen to get blessing 505. Archangel Michael says, this was a test. A moment to see if your soul could recognize betrayal dressed in family clothing. And now that you've passed it, elevation will follow. You will not need to defend yourself. The divine is your voice, your advocate, your protector. Even those who doubted you will soon turn toward your truth. This individual may still try to act as if nothing has happened. That's their only defense now, pretending. But inside, they are aware that the veil has been torn. Every time they attempt to carry your energy, they will feel weighed down. Because the energy they try to hold is sacred, and it belongs to you alone. Type Amen to get blessing 848. You will begin to see blessings return in waves. What was delayed will rush forward. What was blocked will be cleared. Because the divine has seen the theft, and heaven repays in abundance. Those who quietly supported this betrayal will also be revealed. Not with fire, but with clarity. Their true colors will begin to show, and the people around you will notice. You are being given something greater than revenge. You are being gifted full restoration, multiplied, elevated, and sealed in divine protection. They thought you would crumble in silence. Instead, you rose with purpose. Type Amen to get blessing 232. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. The next few days may feel intense. Not because anything is wrong, but because so much is being spiritually cleansed. Your dreams will become clearer. Your surroundings will feel lighter. And your senses will sharpen. You are now fully awake. Not just emotionally, but spiritually, ancestrally, and divinely. You are standing in the full force of who you are. And that power, dear one, cannot be replaced. The ones who tried to copy you will now be left with the weight of the truth. And truth is the one thing they cannot carry. Type Amen to get blessing 616. Expect a shift in how people speak around you. Some will grow silent. Others will begin to over-explain. And a few will come forward with guilt dancing in their tone. That is how you will know the divine is working. It is not your job to call them out. It is your responsibility to keep rising and allow truth to do what your hands never needed to. You have earned this restoration. Not by war, but by endurance. Not by revenge, but by spiritual wisdom and quiet power. And now, what they moved will move again, right back into your alignment. Type Amen to get blessing 353. There is something coming to you soon, an envelope, a call, a document. It may seem unrelated, but it will validate a part of your spirit that was doubted. It's heaven's way of confirming that your role has not been removed, it's being upgraded. This betrayal activated something in your lineage. It shook loose old patterns. It exposed secret envy. And in doing so, it unlocked a generational door that no one expected to open. You're about to walk through it. Not with fear, but with grace. The very family that watched you fall will witness your return, and this time, you will be unshakable. You've walked through shadows. Now you rise in divine light. Type Amen to get blessing 292. Even in your silence, your presence is thundering. They feel it. Every attempt to replace you is unraveling, every plan now backfiring. The energy they borrowed is being returned, and they are left with emptiness. They don't know how to carry your essence because it wasn't made for them. They don't know how to live your journey because they never walked your pain. You were built for this legacy. Every tear, every lesson, every breakthrough has shaped you for this very moment. You were never out of place, you were being protected until your crown could not be stolen. Type Amen to get blessing 444. Now, your rise will begin. Slowly at first, then suddenly. You'll feel it in your energy, your opportunities, your spirit. Everything will begin aligning again. Because what they meant to take became the key that reopened your path. What they tried to move became the signal to the divine that it was time for your elevation. They thought they were harming you. But in truth, they activated your next dimension. And now, they must watch what cannot be stopped. Your place in the family is not just secured, it's spiritually protected. And no one can sit in a throne that was carved for your soul. Type Amen to get blessing 1000.